Okay, what's up guys? This is again Emmanuel from Dimensions Photography, and today we're back again with another exciting tutorial. Basically what we're going to touch up on today is to try to do the same style and effect that you see in Spotify. When you see the album covers, I think they have a special, it's called Mint, like this picture here. So we're going to try to go ahead and create that and just kind of give that look, and then check it out and see how it comes out. Okay, so I do want to say that actually this is more than tutorials. This is a process of how to learn and how to do things, because to be honest, like, I'm not even a YouTuber, and I'm really not good at Photoshop and editing, but I do have a passion for this and I'd love to share. So let's learn together. This is my first time doing it, so let's see how it comes out. All right, let's jump right into it, guys. Okay guys, this is the first, well, this is the picture that we're going to be working with, and actually I'm not going to be working with it in Lightroom. I'm going to open it up in Photoshop. So I'm going to show you a cool tip really quick. If you go down here, you right click the image, you go up to edit in, so you see here it says edit in Adobe Photoshop. So once you click that, it'll automatically load it into Photoshop, and then that way when you work on it in Photoshop and save it, it'll load right back into Lightroom, which is awesome. So I already did it, so let's just go down to Photoshop. So this is the original image. Okay, so right now I'm not worried about color correcting it, making it look good. We're just going to go straight into the effect, and then if I want to change something up, we can do that later. So what I always do is first Control J or Command J on a Mac to make a new layer. So now we have our first layer. Okay, so what we want to do first is that we want to get rid of this background. So we want to just isolate myself here, this picture. Okay, so there's various ways that you can do it. Find the best way. I'm going to show you one way, right? And that's using the magic, actually the quick selection tool. Bring this up. Okay, quick selection tool. So what this is it'll select the area that I want to choose. So I'm just going to go over my body, and then boom. So you see here what it did is, is that it selected everything inside. Okay, so in reality, this is what I want to do. So now what we're going to do is, if you go here where it says select, and then you hit inverse, or shift control I. Okay. Inverse, what that does is it selects everything outside of these dotted lines, right? The marching ants. So now when I hit delete, everything stayed the same, right? Wrong. When you look here on the side, what happens to the background? So if I unclick the background layer, boom. All I have is my picture. Okay, so then what I'm going to do here is, I don't want this selection anymore. I don't need it anymore. So what I'm going to do is go to select and then deselect, or Control D. Okay, and then I just have my image. So just so we can understand what happened, let me just take off the background layer. So this is the layer that I'm working with now. So now what we want to do is, we don't want to just desaturate this. So there's two ways to go about it. Okay, one is going to black and white filter. Okay, it's pretty much done. If you don't want to use the black and white filter, depending on the skin tone, you can right, play with the different dimensions of white. It's really well for black and white images. It works really good. If you don't want to use the black and white filter, I'm just gonna delete. Okay, you can go also into hue and saturation. Then in hue and saturation, go down to saturation and and bring it all the way down. Okay, I'm just going to leave the hue and saturation as it is. Nothing that you do want to do is right click this and create clipping mask. What that's going to do is it's only going to allow this hue saturation to affect this layer, nothing else. So even though I bring my background back, it's not affected. All the color's still there, even though there wasn't much color. So we have our image. Now what we want to do is create a background. So what we're going to do is go down here. To create a new layer, then what we want to do, create a new solid color. And the solid color we want is actually white. Okay, so this, now we're going to move it under our main layer. And as you see, that's how we have our image. It's pretty, I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good as it is now. What I would do is I would click our layer here and then go to the move tool or hit V. And I would scale it down just a little bit, just because we're going to the poster effect that we saw in the Spotify mint. So I would hold shift, actually I would click and then shift, and then what that does is that it perfectly proportions it. Okay, so you can see it sizes perfectly everything. What happens is if you don't hold shift, then all this stuff starts happening, and that's why a lot of images don't come out good. Okay, so Control Z, and then again you click it first, then hold shift, and let's bring it down. Okay, and that looks, say about there, pretty good. Okay, hit enter. That's gonna keep your selection, your transformation rather. Alright, so now that we have this image, now what we want to do is to apply the effect to the background. Then what we're going to use is actually on the same background layer. We're going to create some rectangles. Okay, using the rectangle tool. Okay, and these rectangles, I mean, they can be any size. It depends on exactly what we're going for. What we want to do is the whole Spotify mint look. Okay, which a lot of adjacent rectangles together. Okay, I'm actually going to create another one. Hit enter. Oh. What happened? Why do I go back? Control Z. Oh, okay, I see what it is, because it has no color. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to fill it with this green, like a minty green. Alright, let's go here. So if you double click the layer, what it brings up is the layer styles. And then here you can go to color overlay. And then here we can select the color we're going for. Something like that. Boom, beautiful. Okay, we got something like that going on. So let's create another rectangle. Okay, this one same style, but it's actually going to be a little bit lower like that. Right, I wonder if it's not filling. Alright, well. This is what we're going to do to make our lives easier. Let's delete that. And delete that rectangle. Now since we already have one rectangle and we have its color, we're just going to go back here to duplicate layer. Okay, right click, it'll bring up the options, and then duplicate layer. So now we have two layers of the same. See, rectangle one copy. So if I move this, let me click, they're both selected. Okay, rectangle one copy. Now I'm bringing this one down, and boom. Okay, see what I did there? So we're going to do this one more time. duplicate layer. We have another rectangle, same way. Now we're going to move this one over. It's going to be behind. We're going to do this a few more times. Let's duplicate it one more time. Control Z. Sorry about that. And what's going on? Okay, sometimes you have to click the edges just to make sure that the object that you want is selected. Alright, there we go. Okay, so this one I'm gonna make a little bit, actually, you know what? That looks pretty good. That looks good there. Enter. And then let's put one more. Right click, duplicate layer. Okay. And let's move that one up. And perfect, okay. So I think that, that's pretty good. It's pretty much, we got the whole thing going on. What we can do is now click and then let's see, shift click rectangle 1 and then let's just group these. And then that way all the rectangles are in one layer. So if I wanted to take them out, I'll put them on. They're there, perfect. I mean, we pretty much have everything down now. The last thing that would have to be would to put the text. I would hit T, right, T or the text tool, and then I would click here and type mint, lowercase, okay, again, click shift, right, click shift, and then size it up a little bit. Okay, this isn't the text that they use, so let's find text. So if you hit T again, it'll bring up the text menu. Then you can just highlight it and go up top. These are all the different texts. I mean, you can scroll through them, see what they do. I think I'm just gonna go with like a Times New Roman. I really don't know which was the exact font that they used. You can probably find out on their website, but me myself, I'm not sure. Right, we're gonna try Times New Roman, and actually I don't want these to be capitalized. To find out why they are being capitalized. Okay, I'm just going to go and highlight it again. And here it says character. This brings up all the different tools. So this is why it's being capitalized. I have this clicked, the all caps. Let's take that off. Bam. Okay. And there we go. Play with the font a little bit. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the font they used. And that's it. I mean, this is pretty much the effect, the same effect that we would go through. The only other thing that I would do is just play with this graphic a little bit. I mean, I would cut it out a lot smoother. I would feather it out. I'll probably show that in a different tutorial. But what we can do is, going back to this layer, I would go to brightness and contrast. Yeah, I'll probably bring the contrast up and bring the brightness up to about something like that. Alright guys, so there it is. If you compare it to Spotify, I think it's pretty spot on. Spotify, spot on. You saw what I did there? Okay. But that's pretty much it for the tutorial. So this is how you would do it. Basic steps. You know, cut out the... Yeah, just basic stuff that we did, and you pretty much got the same effect as the Spotify Mint playlists. Alright guys? Cool. Alright guys, perfect. So then, as you saw, Basically, there was a few steps that we had to do. First of all, cutting out the main subject, desaturating the color, throwing a white background, using some rectangle shapes, and then adding the color to those colored layers. Using the text. So very simple stuff, but you could use this to recreate images such as these and even a whole lot of other images. These are basically steps and processes that you can use in so many different ways. So if you learn the basic and you just continue to apply the basic, you can actually create some really cool stuff. Alright guys, click like, snap the subscribe, and then capture your comments below. If you also enjoyed this content, then please share it with anybody else that you think will enjoy it. Again, this is Emmanuel from Dimension Photography, and I will catch you guys later.